One of these days I'll figure out how to do YouTube videos. Okay, hello everybody, my name is Shelly and I am absolutely committed to you guys. I have to turn my ringer off though. Hold please. Otherwise we'll have rude interruptions and that's just tacky. Hey, I am not a professional makeup artist. I don't get anything in PR. I'm not affiliated, endorsed, sponsored, anything like that. I don't even have any coupon codes anymore. I used to put discount codes in my little description box down below. Then I realized I think one got used one time. I don't even have an Amazon affiliate anymore, but I'm here for you. I purchased an entire box of Beauty Bay items. Beauty Bay. Beauty Bay is, I think it's based out of London maybe. It's a European brand, but I had a request from a viewer and said, hey, could you review one of these palettes for us? And I was like, I've been wanting an excuse to. So, about a whole box of it. It says in here, you've been expecting me. Yes, yes. It did take a little bit, but coming from the UK, it actually took less than I thought. And this box is absolutely packed with products. So, I need to get this a little bit organized, and then I'm gonna come back and let's see what we got. See if we got a whole face full. I think I did. Oh, I should tell you, everything I bought, I think, 99% of everything that I bought in here is the Beauty Bay brand. So kind of like a store brand, like an in-house store brand. Okay, give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have everything relatively organized now. I moved my camera. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it didn't cost very much. They have very economical pricing, even though it's coming internationally. So I did pick up a cleansing balm. It says oat lipid and chamomile, deep cleansing and nourishing skin. I may need to use this between videos today because I think I've got a number of things that I want to try to film. Okay guys, I am back with foundation on and on my lips because that's what happens. And I look a little neutralized, a little washed out maybe in the camera, and that's fine. I think it'll maybe oxidize a little bit just in case you're at all curious. I do have a combination of the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear as well as the Pretty Fresh hyaluronic acid. Kind of mixed the two together, applied it with a damp beauty blender type sponge thing. And we're just gonna let it sit for a second. See if it doesn't soak in, dry down, maybe oxidize a little bit. I'm not gonna say, my skin feels, I don't want to say tacky, but it feels like I've got moisturizer on. I know I went in with probably a little bit more than I needed to, but I really wanted to give my skin a base, like an actual base, to apply things off of it, instead of just kind of spot correcting here and there and then going with it. So I don't know if that makes any sense or not. Okay, so yeah, everything else that I purchased is the Beauty Bay brand. But let's start with some brows, okay? So I did pick up a micro sketch eyebrow pencil. Comes in a box like this. Everything is very, other than one thing, everything is very black. This is in the shade Buff, which sounds a little strange. Yeah, it's a little, you know, microfine type brow product. I don't think I have brow products left over from earlier, maybe. Okay, you know what? It's pretty dark. It's going on very easy. It's not pulling or tugging at all. I'm okay with that. I like the spoolie on one end. It does seem to be enough of a grippy spoolie that I'm getting movement out of my brows. And I am not someone who's super specific. I don't really want to draw attention to my brows so much. I just want to have them look like they belong. So I kind of fill in a little bit of the sparse areas. I know some people are very keen on letting things be very sparse there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wearing glasses and heavy frames that I prefer to be slightly thicker right in there. And then my little tail tends to get sparse too sometimes. So brush them all up. Okay, this is one of two eyebrow products that I got. The other thing I picked up was like this eyebrow gel. What is it? Brow fixer fiber gel. I'm gonna wait until we do the rest of my makeup and after I powder, and then I'll go in with that one. Yeah, I picked up an eye base. It seems like a big package, and the package is significantly bigger than the actual eye base, but let's go ahead, try this on. Okay, it looks like it's tinted. I don't remember seeing one in all my trips over to the UK, London, and everywhere else in Europe. I don't recall ever actually seeing a store that's Beauty Bay. So I don't know if it's like an Ulta. If you guys are from over there, will you leave me a comment down below? Tell me more information because I will go over there next time I can actually travel and the world seems relatively normal again. It's a day-by-day situation. Some days I feel like, oh yeah, we're getting to normalcy, and then other days it's like, oh no, we're not there yet. Okay, so I put on a little bit. I don't know if I put on more than I needed to or not, and then I just sort of use this brush to sort of distribute it and then kind of tapping it in. I feel like it needs to dry down though. We're gonna give this a second to dry down because I don't want eyeshadow on top of it to grip and clump in places. I want to give it a chance to situate itself. Okay, so if we're going to do that, might as well go into some lip products while we're waiting, because I think my skin feels like it's drying down pretty well too. I hate the fact that I have to wait for my foundation stuff to dry. So as far as lip products go, I did get a lip liner, a lip gloss, and another lip gloss. So I got these, I got a lip liner and 2 lip glosses, and then I also got this Nude Collection matte lipstick quad. So apparently there's 4 lipsticks in here, 2 glosses and a lip liner. Let's just start with the lip liner. Because I ordered this a few weeks ago, I don't actually remember what we got, but liner has seemed like a consistent vibe. That's the eyebrow pencil, that's the lip liner, right? I gotta be honest, the consistency of it kind of reminds me a little bit of Natasha Denona. Could be because it's a light pencil, but Natasha's pencils aren't this light. She does have some white ones though, right? All right, lip liner is on, and I am not disappointed at all with that. It actually went on very easily. I have 0 complaints. I'm pleased that the color actually looks like it's gonna work for me. Okay, so let's take a look at these 4. So let's do a couple swatches just to kind of decide which direction we're gonna go in. This looks like it might be the lightest one. And these are all like matte nudes according to the packaging. So there's your first matte nude. Almost looks like a Kardashian nude. This, and that one is called Freckle. Next one is called Tea. This seems to be a little bit warmer compared to the cooler tone Freckle. It's cute, kind of a warmer, peachier color. Okay, darker shades here. The next one is called Pinch. Very pretty. That absolutely looks like a color I would wear. And the last one is called Cola, which I think is the one that I was most concerned about. Take a look here. And that is a deep, dark, gorgeous fall shade. I think for right now, I'm gonna take, can you guess? I'm gonna take Pinch. I don't recall a color combination. I think I have a couple different palettes. We'll do the one that was requested. First thought on this, I love this. I like the color, I like the feeling of it. Does it give me any kind of information on it? Let your lips do the talking with their ultra creamy, intensely pigmented lipsticks. Comfortable smudge-proof formula lasts on lips all day long. Find your new favorite. Might have. Okay, I'm gonna put the rest of these in here right now. I feel like I could combine either of these 2 lighter shades with this really dark, rich one to give me that kind of, I don't know, fall 90s kind of vibe. But first impression, I will absolutely use these. And then I've got 2 lip glosses, but we're gonna wait until the very end because I feel like my skin's kind of drying down a little bit. I don't feel like I have to press the, oh, maybe a little bit, the eyeshadow base, pressing it kind of into my skin so there's no creases before going into it. I do have a blush and a bronzer though. Let's try the blush first. So this is a powder blusher. Blush shade, should be a powder blush in the shade Bitten. Let's try to get this open. Oh my gosh, I need to do my nails. Sorry. Not a professional YouTuber either. Not all prepared stuff. Doing it when I can, when I have time. This package, the actual package itself reminds me of Flower Beauty and Honest Beauty. If they had a baby, this kind of reminds me of it. But we've got a B for Beauty Bay and a pretty kind of rosy toned blush. Let's grab a blush, a little bit of kick up, not horrible. Oh my gosh, my chair is up against the wall. Okay, it's going on very well. It's not too sheeny, which I don't like when I've got texture. The color I think is flattering. I've been wearing so much by way of like orange blushes. It's nice to actually see kind of a pink one for a change. I like the way it looks with the lipstick. So let's try this side. I don't know if your cheeks are like your eyebrows, but they're not even sisters. Definitely not twins. Cousins, maybe? And I'm one of those people that gets makeup in my hair sometimes too. Sometimes not even my hair. Some of this is not real. I like the blush. The blush is actually very pretty. It doesn't go on too heavy. It does seem to be buildable. It looks like it melted into my skin a little bit. I've been wearing so many cream products lately. It's kind of crazy to think about powdered products, old school powder products. Okay, having a hard time getting the blusher or the bronzer open. This one is in shade Fawn, and it looks very similar except for the B tends to be a darker, more of a brown color. Okay, that's a bold bronzer theoretically. I'm gonna hold off on that. We're gonna see what kind of damage we needed to do after we do eyeshadow. Guilty of purchasing 3 different palettes. We have the one that was requested, which is the Wilderness palette. I'll open up that in a second. I did pick up this Nude one and because the price was really, really good, and I was like, okay, you always need a nude palette, right? I just thought this had a lot going for it. This seems to me like a fantastic everyday palette. We've got a couple deeper, darker mattes. We've got a black in there, another kind of slightly lighter shade of a neutral matte brown. And then these 3 really that kind of can give you that sort of everyday gradient kind of look. These 2 rows in the center, as well as this one right here, are a little bit more of shimmery. But I like that this one's kind of almost seems like it has more of a pink undertone to it. This one's got more of an orange more of a gold. This seems like it's maybe a taupe undertone to it. And then you've got some other ones. This one almost seems like it's got a little bit of a green tinge to it. So I thought this is actually really pretty. I want to think it was like $6. Do I need another nude palette? Nope. But I thought I would try it, especially if the quality's good, since I was already placing an order. Here's me justifying it to myself. Okay. I also picked up this. Do you guys know what this is? This is the Nikki Tutorials collab with Beauty Bay. And I was a little interested at the time, but not enough interested that I was going to go place an order just for this one product. It was the most expensive of the things that I purchased. If you haven't seen it yet, everybody used these a while ago. This is what the palette looks like. Blind you guys here with the mirrors, but that's what the palette looks like. And these pan sizes are ginormous. They're so big. It's a little overwhelming. This feels a little bit like an Anastasia or maybe Jeffree Star, like Norvina. It feels like a Norvina palette or maybe a Jeffree Star palette. It's so bold and colorful. But there's also a few shades in here, like this shimmer right here. I kind of want to do something with that one. Wow. I don't know why I'm drawn to the shimmers like a freaking magpie here, but there we go. Let's just swatch for fun. Oh. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So if you want me to come back and do 3 looks, lady of a certain age, not a makeup artist, with this palette, give me a comment down below, because I'll work on it. She's got these like dual-sided things. Kind of reminds me of the Raw Beauty Christie, where it was like duality. She's got I am me written on this mirror, and then you are you underneath that mirror right there. The only shade in here that I'm struggling to see how I would use is the bright red, but maybe I need to get out of my comfort zone and try to figure out how to make use of a bright red eyeshadow. Palette feels good though. It feels like a nice sturdy weight. I like the fact that there's mirrors in it. Actually, I don't mind the artwork. I like this side better, but I'm kind of more of a Tim Burton fan, I think. This side is little rainbows and unicorn. I'm not really sure, but it goes with her aesthetic, so I get it. So let me know. I'm actually very excited about that. I need to come back and play with that. Okay, so this is the one we're here for. This is called Wilderness by Beauty Bay. It says, reconnect with Mother Nature with our Wilderness palette. Inspired by all the rich earthy tones, leafy greens, and molten shades that nature has to offer us, this 20 shade palette features wearable hues whilst allowing you to explore your creativity. Featuring the same Beauty Bay formula you know and love, each shade is packed full of pigment and is super blendable and lasts all day without failing. So let's try. Okay, all right. So this has a very similar feel to it to the much smaller, not much smaller, it's a little smaller Nude palette. It feels like a heavy, hard cardboard packaging. It does seem to have a magnetic closure. Like I always check to see if it's gonna stay together if I travel with it. There is a mirror on it. Luckily, it looks like the pans are gonna AMSR. Can we do this? That was very quiet. It's disappointing. Okay, this is what the palette looks like. It is a rainbow palette. Rainbow. Beautiful rainbow palette. So we've got some blues, we've got a bunch of greens, kind of this mustard yellow, a deep burgundy, brick color to bright red. I'm gonna have to do 2 looks. As far as like everyday wearable looks, I think you're down with these colors down here, maybe that one up here. If those are your normal everyday, you know, neutrals. I wear neutrals. Sometimes I'll do a pop of like this blue or maybe a green depending on what I'm wearing, just as a liner, just to kind of give a hint of something without being like full on color. So let's try this, you guys. I'm excited. I saw people use this. I saw like Angelica, I don't know. I don't speak Swedish. I can say a couple things, not much. The box is cute. It's got like it's like wood grain. At first, when I first looked at it, I thought it was a spider web, but it's actually like a cross cut of a log. As somebody who grew up in a logging farming community, feel that. Mirror looks good. It's nice size mirror. And it doesn't appear that I've got maybe one little tiny mark on one of the shades, but it doesn't appear to be swatched or anything like that, so I'm very pleased with it. Let's go ahead and try a couple different looks, shall we? Let's just see what, this is my first time using anything Beauty Bay before. Like Beauty Bay eyeshadow, kind of big fluffy brush. We're gonna go into this kind of bone shade here, just because I don't know, that's some kick up. I don't know what kind of issues I might have with that eyeshadow base. I'm not anticipating any, but I thought maybe it would be kind of a good way to sort of be an opaque starting. We're not gonna eye swatch every single one of these shadows. Do I need to scooch you guys in? Okay, scooched in a little bit. I've got that kind of nude shade called Snow. All right, so we got snow all over the lids to start with. I'm gonna take a little smaller brush and let's do, can I do 4 looks with this? We're going to. We're gonna do 4 different looks. I'll do a look on each side. So I'm gonna start, I'm just gonna keep everything first off to the top row here. We're gonna go in with this kind of bright aqua blue called Sky. And like I said, I do have some kick up. This is an eyeshadow shade that I've been absolutely terrified of not that long ago. It's a little Mimi from the Drew Carey show. I feel like I got a little tiny bit patchy right here. I'm gonna probably go over the top of it anyway. This was a bigger brush than I needed to, so my apologies for that. I'm actually gonna take the original powder brush that I used. This is already starting to feel like a look that I might do with like a cut crease. Okay, got that little wash of light blue on here. Blue's on. Let me grab a little smaller brush. We're gonna go into the dark blue called Twilight. And start with this against line. That shade right here, I love that blue. Love, love, love. Date night bold vibe. Do you guys do that? Do you guys, like, first of all, do you do date night? And second of all, do you do bold crazy eyeshadow? I'm gonna try, there's 2 different shimmers in here. I'm gonna try this one right here called Ocean. That one's gonna go over the majority of my lid with my finger because I wanted to see how it would apply. Wow, that's really pretty. That shade Ocean and that dark blue Twilight totally redeemed that light blue for me because now I see where that light blue had a place. I might have just become somebody who wears blue. After I put on shimmers, tend to go over just sort of where that seam is and just make it not so shimmery on the outside. But I'm gonna grab that smaller, darker brush. I didn't grab any more product and I feel like I need to blend. I still have the shape that I want, that kind of lift. Okay, I need a small brush. We're gonna take Ray on the inner corner. This one feels like it's got like a green, almost like a duochrome shift to it. Highlight. Wow, that is super pretty. I feel like this is a palette where you have to be creative. You can't not be creative. A little transfer underneath, but that's because of my horrible application technique, but beautiful saturated colors. Okay, I need to move my dirty brushes out of the way so I don't make a mess here. Let's go into the next row down. We're gonna do something kind of similar because I like these saturated colors, but I'm gonna take the lightest shade here first. That's gonna be my transition shade. I went in with a better brush that time. I do feel like it's easy to build them up, and it doesn't seem like it's taken me being a rocket science to apply these either. They seem to be very well. All right, first shade of green is on. We're gonna go into the darker shade here. This one's gonna be in my crease. I've got the same brush because I feel like this is actually a good size of brush. Wow, I really like that too. I know that I do a lot of these monochromatic looks, you guys. My untrained, non-creative eye automatically wants to do monochromatic looks, but it feels very bold, almost aggressive, but I can still feel like I'm in my comfort zone because I'm using monochromatic shades, contrasting or rainbow or whatever else. And sometimes those work. Buff it and smooth it out a little bit. I feel like I got a little patchy with this one too. Maybe, I don't know if it's the primer or if it's shadow, but I can't say that I'm in love with how that particular matte went on. And I'm trying to blend it a little bit here, but these colors are so saturated. I'm going back into that mint color, sorry. The first color I used was Mint. That's this one right here. That one right there is called Mint. The second shade I used was called Forest. This one over here. And I'm taking a little bit more mint, trying to soften up that top edge and give it a little bit more of a blend. I do feel like the pan sizes are large, so if you're someone who only buys, you know, a palette a season, and this one definitely feels like you can get a lot out of it. I don't know that I'm really feeling like fall. Maybe. I mean, these kind of, I guess, could be more wintry. Got some fall. Yeah, we've got some fall, so we're still doing fall. Okay. It's okay. It's a little patchy, so good thing is we're gonna go over the top of it. I'm gonna do kind of the same thing I did before. I'm gonna grab another little brush here. We're gonna go into Ivy, which is this dark, delicious, gorgeous, rich green shade. Yeah, that packs a punch. Just trying to, I'm like blending, I'm kind of giving myself the shape that I want, and then just trying to blend into those other shades. I did flip the brush over a little bit so that I can kind of blend it into those other shades. And I think layered, you don't notice the patchiness, which is super helpful. That's pretty though. Wow, I really like that color. I like the color, I like the way the shape is. You guys see how much that, like, this blue brings out my eyes? If this had purple too, you'd be able to really see that. Purple and bronze. We don't really have a good, it's okay. We have a lot. We have a lot to work on. Okay, we're going into the darker shimmer right here. This one right here called Moss. Wow, very creamy, very foiled. This one almost feels like a emerald green, maybe a little bit of a gold to it. Wow, that's ridiculously pretty. I'm giving myself a little bit more eyelid space here because I want to go in with Breeze, which is the next shade over. Use a different, slightly cleaner. Wow, this feels very creamy. Okay, wow. I almost feel like I don't really need much in the way of buffing around it. Clean it up. I don't know which one of those I like better. They're both slightly different. Just kind of gives me mermaid vibes. A little fairy core. Let's see what we have as far as eyeliner goes, because I bought three kits of eyeliner. I don't remember. This one says metallic collection. I've got core collection, and then it looks like I've got some maybe pastels. So let's look at the core collection first. But I think it's because I was going to buy a couple of them, and then I'm like, oh, well, I can just buy the whole kit. So this is the core collection. The first thing off the bat is there is no indicator on the outside as to which color it is. Like, there's no color-coded cap. So I guess the first one is kind of more like a black brown, kind of not a true black. The second one, so there's my first one, which is more of like a black brown. I've got a nude, and I've got like a black. And now let's look at the metallic ones, shall we? I gotta tell you, I don't mind the packaging. I do wish that they had like a color-coded cap on them, because I feel like I'm gonna grab one and then it's not gonna be what I'm... Okay, so as far as the metallics go, that's a blue. This one, green, really pretty metallic. Last one, any guesses? Let's just see. Oh, pretty, like a bronze color. Wow, okay. Should we look at let's look at the pastel ones. I felt like these ones might be good, kind of like liners. I don't normally do that, but when you've got a bold eyeshadow, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do something a little bit out of your comfort zone? As much as I don't care for like two different eyeshadow looks, I like the way the eyeshadow looks. Okay, and I don't usually say that before mascara. Usually that's when it all comes together. Okay, let's take a look at our pastels here. Put these over here. So we've got what looks to be kind of like a minty green. Oh yeah. Then blue. This one looks like it's got like a little mangled tip here, but that's okay. Still love it even with its mangled tip. Yeah, light blue. Pretty. Not a color that I would normally go for, but you can make it work. Okay, and then it looks like we have a purple lavender color. Okay, I feel like you do have to really kind of push the caps in together. Let's try some of these eyeliners here. This is the light blue one. Let's try this as a waterline here. The only thing bad with doing multiple looks, really do a wear test like that. And this is the darker blue lash line. That absolutely works. Okay, I'm gonna grab a little bit more eyeshadow. I loved this shimmer so much. I'm gonna take a little bit more of this under my lower lash line. Just stand right under here. And I probably could do a little bit more cleanup. Sealer. Wow, that's super pretty over that liner too. I'm like a water goddess with this eyeshadow. Okay, let's look at the green. Okay, we're gonna do the pastel green first. And don't get mad at me for pulling my eyelid down. I think I probably just smeared it into my lashes. Okay, aside from getting it in my lashes, it's very creamy. It's very ColourPop formula. Or maybe LA Girl, those Dreamliners. Is that who does that? All right, and then this green, feeling like this. These two eyeliners, now that my eyes are getting a little red, these two eyeliners are ones that I will absolutely use. I don't know about the pastel ones. The jury's out on that. Okay. Oh, I didn't do... Which color do I want to put underneath? I think I want to do more of this aqua color. This is the one that I used on the inner side as opposed to the one that has like the gold shift. Only because I think it ties in the look a little bit better. Not because I prefer that one in any capacity over the other one. And they're both really pretty. I just don't know going forward if I'll actually wear them together like I am right now. Smudged under my lash line a little bit. It's a lot. Not doing the most perfect cleanup job just because I'm going to come back and do two more looks. Let's try their mascara. I did get, it's called Amplify Statement Lash. Like it's sealed for my protection. Let's take a look at this. A little chemically, not horrible. And trying this on. It's not bad. I'll be done here in just a minute. Okay. Kind of got it on. I think I'm gonna have to try this mascara a little bit, but I think initial application it's fine. Oh my gosh, I've got so much glitter underneath my eyes right now. Okay, coats on. I've gone in a couple times. The bristles on this are feeling a little bit like that e.l.f. Lash Out Loud mascara, where it kind of like hurt if you got them down towards the root of your eyelashes. It's a very firm plastic. Seems to be pulling out any clumps. The mascara's not bad. Yeah, I would try this again. Now, I can tell you that now that I have both eyeshadows on, the one that's over here seems like it got a little creasy. So we're gonna press a little bit more on. Gonna get it really into that eye crease. That maybe is not the most perfect shade then, if it's gonna do that to me. So I don't know if that's an eyeshadow issue or if that's a eyelid primer issue, but I'm gonna have to work on that. We're gonna have to see how that goes. Okay, so we have one blue look and we have one green look. Do you guys have a preference? I like the way they both look for different situations. All right, you guys, I'm gonna take this off. We'll come back with 2 more looks. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm relatively cleaned up and kind of put back together again. I feel like I got some staining. So I don't know that this eye base is the best for protecting against super pigmented shades, but we're gonna keep going on. So I've done the blue row, I've done the green row. We're gonna do this kind of, also a green row. So we got this kind of mustard green. I wanna use this one first. Right here, you guys can see that. This one is called Marigold. Put this on this eye. Wow, that is actually a really pretty kind of grungy, orangey yellow. Let's see if I can get it. I didn't wait as long on the eyelid primer situation. Oh my gosh, there's a fly in here. I didn't wait as long, and I didn't use that first shade to kind of tap it down first. I didn't set that eye base. We're just going over the top of it. You guys hear any noise in the background? Usually that's my dog. However, she's not even, oh no, she's in here. She's just being very good. Both of my children are here right now. They're upstairs, and they get together and they don't have a filter. They get very, very loud. So I should probably close my door. Hold on. Door is closed. I do feel like this shade got a little patchy too. I feel like maybe the mattes are just a little patchy of a formula. We're just gonna blend this for a while and see if we can't get it to behave a little bit. I feel like it's a little muddy, and I don't know if that's because I didn't use, I grabbed the lightest shade just to kind of cut off a little bit. I don't know if it's because I didn't use that powder first. I think this ends up being a shade that you put down first and then you put another color on top of it, which is what I'm getting anyway. I've gone in several times just to kind of try to get the patchiness to not be patchy. It's just not working. Let me try a different brush. The other brush I have is one of those like boar bristle. This one buff out a little bit more, but it's really not. You might not be able to tell from a distance, and certainly not with my eyes open. We're gonna go in with the Martini Olive Green. Pick it up a little bit. There is some kick up, but it's not horrible. I feel like this green over the yellow is just gonna make a weird brown color, but let's just try covering up the majority of that Marigold. Yeah, that gold color, I'm not really digging that. Well, let's just see if I can salvage it, okay? Because I was more excited about these shades than other ones. I'm gonna flip the brush over and grab, so that was Leaf. I'm gonna grab Eucalyptus, which is the next deeper shade down. Same technique I did with the previous 2 look. Might have to change it up. I think my challenge when I get into a rut with eyeshadows and eye look is once I get the shape down that's flattering to my eye shape, the size of my eyes, the hooded eyes, that kind of thing. Once I get that down, why would I change, you know? But I think it's important to kind of try other ways of doing eyeshadow occasionally, other techniques. I think it's important to do that. We're going over the eyelid with this bright acid green here called Lime. Kind of appropriate. Wow, it's really, really pretty. It's like that alien foil green. Okay, really pretty, and I can tell you that I'm feeling like the shimmers are saving this palette for me. I think that gold color is my least favorite, but the shimmers are saving this palette for me. Love the shimmers. Okay, let's go into the last row here. We're gonna use this kind of burnt sienna as our transition shade. Orange shade. I barely went into it because I kind of wanted it to just be more of a wash of color. Oh, I didn't use the last shade. Okay, this is the last shade. Grab this last bronzy, weird, it's like a chunky thing. It's called Fossil, this shimmer right here. I was gonna use that corner. I feel like that's a pretty color. I don't know that it's the most perfect color for this, but it is a very pretty champagne. Okay, I felt like this was going really well, and then it just kind of has taken a turn here. I don't know where, oh, this is the brush I was using. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into that orange. Probably should have used like the P. Louise eye base. That might have been a better option. It's a pretty color though. Like, I'm fine with that orange. I'm gonna take this bright red and we're going all over the flat shader brush. I didn't get as much fallout on that one. This is one of those. Okay, that's a really pretty red. And as someone who doesn't wear red eyeshadow, it's saying a lot. Okay, I'm feeling like this red, even though I keep going over it to try to get it more saturated, I feel like this red might have an issue not getting patchy over time. I think it might crease. I do feel like that red, when I went into it a bunch of times, really got to be like a rich red color. Tweaking the shape. A little bit different of an eye shape here, especially with that dark color, a bit of it down here. And it's okay. You can't see that orange at all anymore. The orange is pretty much gone. Okay, that looks a little bit better. A little bit more fiery and fun. Speaking of fiery, we're gonna grab the shimmer in here, the red shimmer called Heat. Basically just putting right on the center of my lid over the bright red shade. I kind of wanted to just sort of give my eye a little bit more brownness. That shade ends up being so similar to the red underneath it that it's hard to tell how much you've now packed onto it. I'm gonna go in with this dark brick color here is called Raw, and I just want to build into this sort of C formation here. I'm not even focused. Have I been out of focus this entire time? Sorry, I don't know that I can fix that in editing, but I've gone in with a little bit of that darker red just to kind of deepen up that outer corner. I'm not normally a Phoenix kind of eyeshadow sort of girl. I do want to go in with that same champagne shimmer over here called Fossil. I want to grab that and add it right to my corner. Oh my gosh, that one shadow seems very chunky. It's like it wants to scoop out. It might be good for like an all over the lid look. I don't know. It's very glittery. Lose focus too. It's very glittery. So now I've got like glitter transfer, a ton of it. All right, I'm just gonna try to drag some of it underneath there. We're just basically smudging all of that red. I need to lighten up the situation, maybe do a little cleanup. So let me do that really fast, and then I'll come back and we'll finish up the eyelid. At no time did I ever think I was going to do any kind of like bold graphic red devilry thing going on, but I actually really like it. Okay, so I've got the bronzy color. I'm going to use that on my waterline, mainly because I wanted to try to cover up the green that was there before, and two, because if you're doing this, you might as well just kind of go all in. I'm going to take a little bit of the brown, keep going with the whole dramatic thing a little bit down here. Going all the way in, a little bit of a, not like a full-on fox eye, but a little bit. Feel like I'm having a hard time staying in focus. I need to keep a little bit more centered. I think it's where my camera is. Okay, taking the black one onto our green eye, and I'm keeping this just a little bit more on the outside. I'm not going all the way in. And I did drag a little bit of that green, so I'm just keeping it a little bit closer in. I like the eyeliners. I can honestly say that now. I've tried a bunch of them at this point, and I like the eyeliners. I have the lavender. We're not using the lavender one today. Got this like nude champagne-y color. I like these for a waterline than a bright white, or even really a pastel usually, because I feel like that gives you a wide open look without being cartoon character-like, if that makes sense. I scratched my cheek when I was doing that. It's funny how the different shapes make your eyes look different ways. I'm gonna put on some mascara. You guys have already seen me put this on, so I'm gonna do this off camera and then I'll be right back. Back with mascara on. Two completely different looks, a little bit different techniques for each one of them. My green eye and then that fiery red. I can see a reason to do either one of these looks or the other two. I can see a date night instance where feeling a little extra saucy, and that's the direction I go. This one feels a little bit more normal for me, because I do like the greens. Overall, the palette is a fantastic palette. I really do like the palette. I didn't use this one brown. The only one I didn't do. I would like to probably come back and do this brown and maybe this champagne color over the lid. 2 eyeshadows, super simple, easy. Like I mean, I literally have tried on 19 eyeshadows. I've tried 19 of these 20 eyeshadows, and I feel like, even though it's a first impression, I feel like I've got a pretty good gauge of them now. I can tell you, I like the color story. I like the way the eyeshadows work together. I can see doing things down a row instead of just down a column as opposed to just down a row like I did today. I can actually even see some quads that I think would actually be really pretty together. Maybe this shade, I'm not in love with this shade. This was the hardest one for me because I buffed it out on that top edge of that very first eye, the darker blue eye look, got past it. I didn't notice it so much, but that's my least favorite shade in this whole palette. Maybe this bone color, but I think I actually do have a reason to use that because I like to use a matte lighter color on the my inner corner tear duct. I will use that because of that. Favorite colors. This blue is my favorite matte in here. This dark green is my second favorite matte in here. The shimmers, other than this one, the other shimmers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, love those shimmers. The shimmers to me make this palette. They're fantastic. I hope they stay on. I hope they don't crease and travel and, you know, want to be somewhere else. But like this acid green right over here, lime or whatever they want to call it, that's great. You can't even really notice the one on this side. It just kind of gives you a little bit of lightness to that shape of the eye. Big fan. Okay, moving on with other products. You guys are still awfully close, but let's take a big fluffy brush and go into this bronzer and just kind of see how this does. Keep it towards the outside perimeters of the face here and kind of give us a little warmth. Yeah, that's pretty. Bronzer, yes. Blush, yes. Like them all. Ooh, we have a gloss. We have an eyebrow product. One more eyebrow product too. Let's try. I'm not even gonna do a full powder because I actually like the way my face looks. It's set down pretty well, and I think with the two. The powder blush and the powder bronzer. I feel like I don't need powder on right now. I feel like I've got powder. Okay, so we're gonna use the eyebrow gel. This is like a fiber one. This looks like so many other little tiny spoolie, so many other brow products that I've tried. It almost looks identical to the Flower Beauty one. I think Morphe has one that's just like this too. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I don't feel like you always need brow gel, or at least I don't always need brow gel. I don't like it when my brows feel super crunchy. I get the point if you want to keep them kind of locked and loaded. All right, you know, I'll probably use this. Is it going to be an everyday thing? No, not so much. I've got 2 lip glosses though. I still have that lipstick from before. And this is probably a couple hours later because my daughter came over and so we were chit-chatting for a little while and stuff. Lip gloss shades I got. One of them is called Candy. So soft pink, bare wash of color. Not much more to it than that. Let's try the other one. This one's called Petal. It seems like it'd be almost the same shade, right? And that one's a little darker, a little richer, deeper. I think I'm gonna go with the lighter one right now just to try it. I feel like that color feels very comfortable. I keep checking to see if it's still on, needs to be reapplied, but I think it looks fine. It smells like cupcakes. It is perfectly acceptable. Feels more like a lip oil than it does a lip gloss. Like I don't feel like it's stringy or it's sticky or any of those things like it. Okay, last thing we have in here is a setting spray. This is the Beauty Bay setting spray. One of the only things that's not white. Okay, I actually like that. Mattifying setting mist. Set it, don't regret it, it says. Okay, you guys. So let's talk about Beauty Bay. I did not try 2 of the palettes that I got in. I am interested in coming back and doing 3 looks with this palette. I think this is a great palette to be doing that. Did I need another rainbow palette? No. But I have the nude ones, which is probably like gonna be like my everyday one. And the quality, I'll have to try these other ones and see how they feel. I feel like I got the looks to pull together, which is kind of at the end of the day, even if you have some stumbles along the way, as long as at the end of the day you can actually, or as long as before you leave the house, the look that looks more intentional. And I feel like I got that with all 4 of those looks that I did today. Am I still out of focus or am I okay? So I feel like these will be fun to play with. The nude, I mean, if it's the same kind of quality, I'm not really expecting any issues because most of my day-to-day looks are 1 or 2 shades. I think I probably didn't need a whole palette of, I didn't need 16 neutral shades. I didn't need that at all. This is fun. I would play this with this again. This is a date night palette to me. This is the darker, grungier, fun version. I think it's edgy. I think it's fun. So the Wilderness palette, yes. Even despite the patchiness with the mattes, I still got it to work. I didn't try this. I would like to. Oh, the lipstick quad I tried. Like the lipstick quad, absolutely. The eyeliners were fantastic. Absolutely no issues with this whole collection of eyeliners that I didn't know I needed. Not upset by that. Actually, perfectly fine. The Eyelid Primer, I think there are better ones out there. I don't think it particularly worked with that eyeshadow palette just because I did get the staining. I know I'm gonna have a red eye. I just know. The pigment is there. That's gonna be a challenging one to get off, I think. So I don't know that it necessarily protected my eyelids the way I would have wanted it to when you're using heavy pigments like that. So this is kind of like, if you need an eyelid primer, it'll get you by, but it's not one that I think I would have necessarily tried with this particular palette. Probably be just fine with the nude one. Eyebrow products, totally fine. Zero issue with the eyebrow products. I have no issues with that at all. The mascara, I have mixed feelings on the mascara. The mascara is the one that's like, it ended up being okay-ish. Like, I'm not wowed by my eyelashes, but I'm also not upset by them either. The thing I don't like about it is the spoolie is very stiff. It's very firm, and it feels like it's stabbing the roots of your eyelashes when you're trying to put it on. Same problem I had with the Lash Out Loud from e.l.f. A lot of people love that one. And if that's okay and you figured out how to gracefully do your eyelashes without stabbing yourself with it, then you're a better person than I am. So there you have it. Hey, it's competition. Okay, lip gloss, perfectly fine. These are great everyday wear shades. I have zero issues with that at all. Actually like the setting spray. And the blush and bronzer, totally fine. I have very few regrets from this little haul, this Beauty Bay haul. Very, very few. if any. The mascara and the eyelid primer, those are my 2 regrets. And yeah, and that's not even, those weren't even like the worst things in the world. So all in all, I don't know if this helps you guys at all. I'm excited to have now tried Beauty Bay. I am curious if there is like a Beauty Bay storefront, like there's like a brick and mortar store, because I would go in there when I can travel again. My husband would love that. He'd be like, okay, you guys, I have some cleaning to do, and the fact that I'm wearing 2 different eyeshadows. So let's take care of that. I hope you guys are having a great day. Trying to pull myself together for a lot of time, or a lot of years, doing the best I can with what I have. Might be somewhat similar to you. At the end of the day, we want to know, can we get a variety of looks from the same product, and is it going to be worth our money? This one? Yeah. Okay. If you can get enough to save yourself the shipping, yeah. I think there's a solid lineup of the Beauty Bay brand. All right, you guys. I hope you guys are doing really well. Stick around. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. I love it when you guys comment, and then I can interact and I can get a gauge of what direction you guys want me to go in. Follow me over on Instagram at Shelly Tsunami, and until my next video, bye for now.